In today's video, we're going to be learning how to cut this beautiful bustier gown with an asymmetric neckline. So if it's something you would love to learn, do well to watch to the end of the video, like, share and subscribe. So let's get right to it. So I'm going to rule a line here which is going to serve as our starting point and our shoulder line. So I'm going to label this shoulder line. So my paper is on fold. From the shoulder line, I'm going to come down to take my vertical measurement. From my shoulder to my bust point is 9.5 inches. I'm going to mark that and extend the point across. Then from the shoulder line again, I'm going to come down to mark my under bust point. From my shoulder to my under bust is 12 inches. I'll mark that, then extend the point across as well. Then from the shoulder line again, I'm going to come down to mark my waist point. From my shoulder to my waist in front is 16 inches, and I'm going to mark that all the way and extend the point across as well. So I'll go ahead and label my lines. This is my waistline, this is my under bust line, and this is my bust line. I'm going to come to the shoulder line, divide my shoulder by 2, which is 7.5. At that point, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll come here to mark my neck width of 3 inches. Then I'll connect from the shoulder slope all the way to my neck width. So I'm going to come here to mark my neck depth. I'm going to mark 3 inches for my neck depth. I'll connect from the neck width all the way to this point this way. The next thing is to mark my chest line. To mark your chest line, you're going to divide your bust by 6, add 1.5 inches to the measurement. I got 7. I'll extend the point across. So this is my chest line. On my chest line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement here just so I can have a straight line. Then I'll connect from the shoulder slope all the way to that point we just marked on the chest line. I'm going to come to this line here, divide what I have here into 2 to mark the midpoint. At the midpoint, I'll go in by half an inch. I'll come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4. I'll connect all this point to form my armhole. So this is what we have. The next thing is to mark our dart. To mark your dart, you are going to divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2. That is your bust span. My bust span is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I'll mark it on the chest line, bust line, under bust line, and all the way to the waistline. And I'll connect all these points together to form a straight line this way. Then on the under bust line on the center front, I'm going to mark ½ inch, and then on the side front, I'll mark 1 inch. But if you're a plus size person, you can mark 1 inch on both sides. I'll do the same thing on the waistline, ½ inch on the center front and then 1 inch on the side front. I'll go ahead and connect all these points together with a straight line. So I'm going to come down from the bust line by 1 inch, and I'll connect with my curve rule from the under bust all the way to that 1 inch this way. I'll do the same thing on this other side. And I'm going to connect from here to the midpoint of my armhole. This is a princess dart. I'm going to do that like so. Then I'm going to come to this line here, mark ½ an inch on both sides of this line to tighten up this place. I'm going to mark ½ an inch here, and I'll connect the point back to the original line with my curve rule. So this 1 inch we took here, I'm going to replace it on the lower line here. This lower line, I'm going to replace the 1 inch so we don't have any shortage when we are joining this. So I'm going to extend this point to that 1 inch. I'll also replace the 1 inch on the chest line, and I'll go ahead and reconnect my armhole. So this is what we have. The next thing is to impute our round body measurement. We've already marked our bust measurement. So I'll come to the under bust, divide my under bust by 4. I'll mark it here. The 1.5 inches for that, I'll replace it. I'll come to the waistline, divide my waist by 4. I'll mark it. The 1.5 inches for that, I'll also replace it. I'll go ahead and connect my markings. I'm going to add my sewing allowance of 1 inch. You can do 1.5 inches, alright? I'll add on the waistline also. I'll go ahead and connect all these points together like this. So the next thing is to mark our bust dart. And to mark your bust dart, this is the difference you have from your shoulder to your waist in front and from your shoulder to your waist at the back. From my shoulder to my waist in front is 16 inches, while the back is 14.5 inches. So the difference is 1.5 inches. I'm going to come down from the bust line by that 1.5 inches and connect this way. So by the time you take your bust dart, you're going to have the back pattern and the front pattern equal, alright? So this is very necessary. Take the measurement appropriately. And this is basically, so I'm going to transfer everything I have here to the other side so that we can work on the neckline. So I've already gone ahead to do that. I've transferred all the measurement to this other side. We are going to work on the neckline now, so you can decide on where you want the slant to be. It can be on the left or on the right side. It depends on where you want the slant to be. So I'm going to take this side. I'm going to mark 1 inch here on this shoulder slant. Then I'm going to come in by 3 inches from my armhole. I'll come down to mark 6 inches at that point also. This will be the length of my neck. So this is my neck depth. All right, so I'm going to come down from here by 1.5 inches from the neck. I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches and I'm going to connect all the way to this point with my curve rule. You can use your free hand if you're so good with your free hand. You can also use your free hand to do this curve, and this is what we have. So this is very simple to do, but if you find it hard at any point, please do well to just pay attention to what I am doing in the video. Just if you're not satisfied with my explanation, just do well to pay attention to what I'm doing in the video, and I promise you will get everything. All right, so just go ahead and cut it out. Now make sure to close down your bust before cutting the pattern paper out, okay, so that you can align your lines properly if they're not aligned. So if you look at that picture properly, is like they cut out this shoulder and then they rejoin it. So I'm just going to label this as the yoke, or kind of, I don't know what to write on it. So you're going to join it back to your center front. If you don't want to cut your own out entirely before joining it back, you can also do that. It works. All right, we've done tutorial on this asymmetric neckline before, so it's something that you can do easily. So let's draft the back pattern. So this is my back pattern. This is the bust line and my waistline and my zipper allowance of 1 inch. I'm going to come to the shoulder line here, divide my shoulder by 2. At that point, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll mark my neck width of 3 inches. I'll connect from the shoulder slope to that point. I'm going to come down to mark my neck depth of 1 inch, and I'll connect from the neck width all the way into the zipper allowance this way with my curve rule. The next thing is to mark my chest line. Divide your bust by 6, add 1.5 inches to the measurement. That gives me 7. I'll go ahead and extend this point across. So this is my chest line. On my chest line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement here, and I'm going to connect from the shoulder slope all the way to the point we just marked. I'll come here to mark the midpoint of this line by dividing it into 2 equal halves. At the midpoint, I'll come in by 1/2 inch. I'll come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4, I'll mark it there and connect all this point to form my armhole this way. The next thing is to mark the dart. Divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2, just the way you did for the front. I'm going to mark it on all the 3 lines to get a straight line. I'll go ahead and connect all the points together like this. On the waistline, I'm going to mark up 1 inch on both sides of this line. I'll come down from the chest line by 1 inch. I'll go ahead and connect my dart. And I'm going to connect from here to the midpoint of my armhole as well, because I'm using a preset dart for the back pattern as well. So I'm going to extend this line by 1/2 inch, and I'm going to reconnect my armhole this way. The next thing is to impute our round body measurement. We've marked our bust measurement. I'll mark my waist divided by 4. Right here on the waistline, the 1 inch for that, I'm going to replace it. I'll go ahead and connect my point. The back pattern is very easy to draft, and I'll also go ahead and add my sewing allowance of 1 inch, and I'll connect it. And I'll come to the zipper allowance. I'll mark 1/2 inch here, and I will slant it up. This is to prevent our zip from bulging after sewing. So the excess we are supposed to have here, we are going to cut it out, and this is basically it for the back pattern. I'll go ahead and cut this out now. This is our center back and our side back, and this is basically for this tutorial. So for the down part, we've made tutorial on how to cut a pencil skirt before. So if you don't know how to cut a pencil skirt, just check out my other videos, and this will be all for this tutorial. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Do well to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.